Hello everyone, welcome to the post-match review. Manchester United just beat Athletic Club 4-1 somehow. I don't know, madness towards the end of that game, as it always is. 7-1 on aggregate it was at the end. 7-1. It's just crazy. One might say the substitutes definitely changed the game. I would probably agree with that. Mount standing, another person might say as well. What a cameo from him. They made it look easy in the last 20 minutes. But, lads, and I really, really don't want to be a Debbie Downer on this. I don't, because I get it. We're through to the final. Everyone's buzzing and happy. But that performance for the first 70 minutes was one of the worst I've seen in a semi-final. It was so, so bad. And they've almost got out of jail with those subs coming on and doing what they was doing. I was livid, like many of you guys was in the chat as well. So, yes, we are through. Yes, we're happy. People have scored, and we'll discuss cameos and that. But we have to start with that first 70 minutes. Whoever wants to go off on this, I'll go to you first, Trevor. Talk to me about that first 70 minutes, because it was bad, wasn't
it? Yeah, I'm not happy. I know everyone's celebrating and stuff, but I think what I saw in that first 70 minutes just literally ruined the entire game for me. Like, I think it was maybe the last goal when Mason Mount scored, like, the chip with the long goal.
Halfway line.
I kind of was like, oh, okay, yeah. But then apart from that, like, I didn't really celebrate any of the goals. Well, the first one, I was like, yes, get in. It just ruined it for me. And it's just ruined any little bit of optimism I have going into the final. Like, it's completely. Valverde literally just. They pressed us to death. We can't beat the press to save our lives. Like, overloading every single part of the pitch. Like, whenever the ball goes, like it was 2 against 1 or 3 against 1. There was a time the ball goes to Højlund. There's 4 defenders closing in on him. We just didn't have an answer to that, and it really just. I was just like, man, listen, if this is how we're setting up, like, I'm not optimistic going into that final. And it's really making me hate this season, especially has really made me hate modern football and just hate system managers. And just, we have a system and we play with that system and that's it. Like, it's just one trick fucking ponies. Like, no pragmatism, no ingenuity. Nowhere to, if your opponent is playing this way, then make changes to checkmate. Like, we're not seeing none of that. It's just system, and it's really, really driving me crazy. I really like this guy, man. I like Amorim a lot, but he's really. I don't hate him, but I just can't trust him. That's it. Like, I just can't trust him. Like, when we played the first leg, exactly what he talked about the first 20 minutes was what was happening. They were pressing us. Pressing Ugarte, it's almost as if they knew, like, this guy, because that's what they did the first game. When they found out that he couldn't control the ball, they kept pressing him more than everyone else. And it's the same thing. So why would you go back and repeat the exact same thing and expect a different result? Like, and then see what happens when you play actual footballers, people who can actually play the ball. This is what happens. He made the changes immediately. It's not rocket science. Why the fuck should I know this?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. But obviously, Sam, there's so many layers to this what I want to go through, and individuals and tactics and all that kind of stuff. But Amorim said it in the press conference, or the pre-match press, I should say, that United will have to suffer. He kept using that word, we'll have to suffer. We definitely fucking suffered for 70 minutes, didn't we?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was watching that, and honestly, I was like, do I just check out of this and then just check the result at the end and just make sure we go through? Because I had no interest in watching any of that. Like, for 70 minutes, I was just like, I have no interest. Why am I watching this? Like, honest to God, because it felt like, if we would have gone out and then we're watching West Ham on Sunday, that would be the level of interest I would have. Like, just, what is the point? What is the point of this? And yeah, I think had they had Nico Williams and Inaki and is it Sunset, the striker? Is that what he's called?
Yeah, they're attacking.
If they had them, God knows where we'd be.
You're going out? Really? Based on that 70 minutes that we just watched, you're going out?
Yeah. Because I think only Lenny Yoro, I think I could look at during that game and thought he's putting in a shift in. Everybody else, piss poor. Everybody else, piss poor. Højlund, piss poor. Garnacho, piss poor. Ugarte, piss poor. Maguire was making mistakes. Lindelof, God knows what he was doing.
Mate.
Jesus Christ. There was so many bad players on the pitch. So many bad players. Like, it was ridiculously bad, that. Really bad.
Victor Lindelof, if there's any being a reason where his career is coming to an end at Man United, thank the Lord, because right, and then we have to start out with even the first 20 minutes passing out from the back. Oh my goodness me! I kept putting it in the chat. How many times did it go from Lindelof to Maz, back to Lindelof to Onana, putting it long, they get it back, recycle possession, go again. Like, at what point do you get to in a game where you go, all right, lads, this isn't working. Let's try and play
this.
Do you know what I mean? It's so obvious that you can't do it. It was so painful because every time we went to that side, you just knew, didn't you? You knew exactly what was going to... And so did they, by the way. That's why they was pressing on that side. They forced an error. We get it back, and they absolutely played us off the pitch with 4 of their best players missing. And I don't want this. Everyone's going to be jubilant. Everyone's going to be happy and excited. And I understand it because we're in a final. I don't want this to paper the cracks because we did the same thing. Yeah. We made the same mistake with Erik ten Hag when we won the FA Cup. Yeah. And myself, I got caught wrapped up in the emotion of it. Was buzzing. We just beat City in the final. That's a one-off game. Anyone can do one-off games. We need sustainable football that is good to watch and has purpose and intent behind it. Because if you don't, then what's the fucking point of being here?
And just to add on that point, that's a really good point. Just sustainable football so that you're not only reliant on your good players. Look at Atletico Madrid, like their top players aren't playing. The top defender, Vivian, who plays in the Spanish team, he's got the record, so he didn't play. Yeah. The Williams sisters and what's his name? And the Sanse, whatever his name is, Their top players weren't playing, but they wouldn't know that. But we had to wait for like our really good players to come on. It's not sustainable. We need a sustainable system that allows everyone to play. And I get it, it's a really, really difficult system, and maybe it takes some really hard translation from Portuguese league to the Prem. But damn, it looks horrible.
It's not great.
It looks bad, and it doesn't feel anyone. And it's so easy to decipher because they just block the passing lines, and they just know exactly what we're going to do, force us to go long, and then they just sweep up the long balls and then bring it back. There was a time in the second half, like it took us until Ahmad came on. I think I only saw their goalkeeper twice. Like literally, we couldn't leave, and everyone. And I was just like, "What's going on?" But
yeah, I said there was many layers.
Go on, go on.
Because there is a lot to get through. We're speaking about sloppiness at the back, Sam. Straight away, Maguire. What on earth is he doing there for their first goal? That pass, it's just a simple pass. Back to the keeper, and he's an experienced player.
And it's so weird as well because he's had like a remontada and been really good for us the last couple of weeks. Like he's been really important, and then he does a simple mistake like that. It's just like, I know we don't trust Onana, and I know there's question marks on, but the ball there surely is play it back to the goalie, innit?
Yeah.
Rather than put it across your own box, play it back to goalie, and goalie punts it. Maybe we lose possession, but it's away from the danger. But putting it across his own box. And is it Yoro who is...
Yeah, he's trying to pass.
He has no idea, doesn't he?
But you could see Yoro looking at Maguire. Looking at him going like, what the fuck do you do? Like, literally. Yeah.
And he just puts him in the thing, and then that's it. I know it's a great strike, but don't put us in that position where he's able to get a shot off in front of us. It's just simple. There was another moment, like, later on, which luckily didn't come to anything. Ball goes over the top and Lindelof goes to head it, misses it. It bounces between him, and then Maguire tries to get it. He misses it, and I'm just like, oh my God, what is going on here? This is like, do you remember when we were taking the piss at Lindelof and Maguire were playing together, and it was just fucking awful? That was that. That was what I was seeing. I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Well, that's the crazy thing. It's 2025, and Lindelof and Maguire are starting a semi-final. I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. Like we've talked about these issues under Solskjaer. Seeing those two together are clowns at the back. Like they just don't complement each other in any area of the pitch. But not only that, I will promise I'll get to the comments in a minute because I know there's going to be loads of them. I will. But there was another pressing issue for me that was really pissing me off. the chances, Chivette, kept falling to Garnacho and Dorgu, and both of them kept making the wrong decisions. I think Garnacho was probably in about 3 times 1v1 with Unai Simon and makes the wrong decision where he's supposed to lift it over the keeper, he doesn't. When he's supposed to go round the keeper, he doesn't. Dorgu takes a touch when he shouldn't.
Dorgu took it off Bruno's foot as well. Do you remember when it comes across and Bruno's line up the shot and he took... Why?
Literally
In what world do you think you're going to get a better opportunity than Bruno Fernandes in that position? Like, why are you taking it off his foot? Like
the inexperience really showed in it in those situations.
It does. These are the moments that really, really count, and this is why we suffer, because we need consistency in some of our players, like the form. Like with Garnacho, it's like he's brilliant or he's crap. Yeah. It's like you don't know who's going to turn up.
Jekyll and Hyde.
It's one of them ones. Yeah, he's like he could be really, really on it, and then he's just crap. But I think what we're starting to see a lot more is that whenever he plays on the left-hand side, he's just a bozo. And then when he plays on the right, he's more productive. I really don't understand how the brain works. But for some reason he's just, I don't get it, man. And it's really frustrating. What I did notice.
Him and Ahmed on the right is just, it works.
I was literally going to say that with Dorgu. When he went to the right-hand side, it was almost, he just felt so much more comfortable playing the ball on his left. And he was cutting in a lot more. He could understand Ahmad's runs. The chemistry, it was like, on FIFA where you got the chemistry
green lines.
It literally was like...
But Ahmad has that with everyone. Even Ahmad's first cameo against Forest, when he got the first 10 minutes under Ten Hag, whatever it was, straight away off the bat, it was link up with Bruno, whoever, I think Wan-Bissaka, whoever it was at the back. Like, he is that player that you could just play. That's because he's a footballer. He plays football.
He's a baller. That's what he is.
He is.
But we've gone out to
levels above every single forward player we have. Like, all our forward players are here, and Ahmed is up here. Yeah. Like
it's scary. It's really scary because as soon as the subs came on, and as soon as Ahmad had the energy just completely changed. Like, it's something I haven't seen in a very long time. In a very, very long time. We have a player that comes on and just changes the game in that fashion. But just quickly on your point, Nick, about Dorgu, do you remember when he goes through, he does really well, gets the ball, and he's got Højlund on one side and he's got Garnacho on the other side. He could have fed it to Garnacho or he could have fed it to Højlund. He chooses to give it to Højlund, but then he waits maybe 2 seconds late.
Yeah.
When he's, I was just like, we're never going to get anywhere.
Hesitation just kills in this game.
It's inexperience, raw, just decision making at the final stages of this kind of competition. You need decision makers in there, and we'll get on to Mason Mount in a minute. But I want to read some comments out because it's fucking loads. Tim99 saying I always liked Mount. He just needed a run of games. Joshua Owen saying what an impact he made tonight, and hopefully the scoring run and good performances can continue for him and not pick up any more injuries that keep him out for a couple of weeks. Ahmad made a great impact off the bench, gave us that spark, and also Yoro was great getting that assist and solid at the back. Yeah, I agree. McMillan saying, can't believe that pathetic Chelsea reject Mount actually can play football. So lame, needs to be sold. Some irony there in the comments. Yeah. Do you know what the difference between Ten Hag and his trophies talk and Ruben Amorim is? Ruben has come out and said we have been rubbish this season. He has not held anyone flowers. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. Andy's saying cannot start Garnacho in the final. Interesting also as well. Yeah. Napoli play a specific system, Inter play a specific system. Play a specific system, but the club recruited players who can adapt to all types of managers and systems. Amorim has just arrived. We have a mishmash of players who can't adapt to specific systems, recruit players that can play Amorim's system, and then play a different type of manager system, give Amorim a pre-season. And Yoro was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. Yeah, I thought Yoro was really, really good, which is weird, right? Because this is an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid that you're talking about who looks more experienced than Lindelof and Maguire, who've got about 500 more games than Yoro.
And looks better up front than any of our forwards.
Yeah.
He's just cutting through defenders and playing in the box. He play him up front. He's clearly better than anybody.
And he's making good decisions, in the box under pressure. He's passing it to the right person.
There was one moment where I think Ahmad was in, and he overhit it a little bit, or he played it out wide. Maybe it's been super critical, I don't know. But that was one where I was like, if he just gets it right there, you could probably get yourself a little assist. But I've been impressed with him, man. I think he's arguably one of our best centre-backs in a minute, and he's a kid.
Since that, was it Southampton where he looked a bit shaky?
Against Slimani.
Since that, he's just got better and better each game. He's just improved each single game. He's got better, and I'm starting to see why we paid the money we did for him. Because he's clearly
the confidence, and he's gaining. You can see the confidence in his
temperament.
Yeah, it's insane.
Can we talk about Mason Mount now, please? Because
if he's going to eat some
Nick has waited.
I've bided my time. I've bided my time.
I'm happy for you.
I've been in the shadows. I'm like the reverse of the Homer gift, you know, when he's like in the bushes. I'm coming out the bushes, and I'm like, hey, every one of you lot there, like, let me tell you, that goal that he scored, that Makeda-esque goal, where not only just that, but he's dogged work off the ball as well. He's winning balls left, right, and centre. And then to score from the halfway line on his left foot when it's bobbling is crazy, by the way.
Talk about the flick as well, the confidence he had for that flick, where he's backs heel it across the shore and he cuts it. I was just like, this guy's balling out on another planet now. He's got confidence and he's showing off. I was like, that was impressive. Really
incredible
impressive.
Cameo, that one, Chiva.
Fantastic. And I think this is where when him, Shaw, and Ahmad came on, and for me, it was the way they were moving the ball. Like, if you notice, like, players who aren't really good on the ball, they always take an extra touch. So they control it and then they pass. They control it and then, but with Mason Mount, it's just one time. He gets the ball, releases it.
Yep.
And that goal was, he came out of nowhere, literally. Like, I don't think the defenders, he was so unassuming in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, and then when I watched it because when I watched it in real time, it just looked like he turned and then scored. But then I watched the slow-mo, he controls it, like like with his back heel, turns around, and it was good. It was really, really good. And basically, I mean, we've needed this. Like, it's always Ahmad. Yeah. Finally, now we have someone else who, at least for now, in the final that we can look. We have options now. We don't have to start Garnacho. We can start him and Ahmad, or we can, there's an option, because it just felt like Amorim was just forced to play Garnacho, Højlund, Bruno every time because we didn't have any other options. But I think Mason Mount really, really needed this performance because there's been a lot of doubts. There's been a lot of speculation. He comes on, he runs around, he shows.
I get
we don't
that
really
side of it.
see anything. So he really, really needed this for himself, for the fans. And goals just breed confidence and can gain momentum from this. I would love to see him start the final. I don't want us to have to get to like 1-0 down and then Amorim has to just start your good players for once.
If you used to put yourself in his shoes, Sam, obviously he's had a proper difficult time with injuries. Ahmad's only just come back himself as well, and I think he got an assist. But to have that moment in a semi-final at Old Trafford in front of the Stretford Den, score those 2 goals, that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's 3 goals in 2 games now.
Yeah.
So he's on a mini run. Like, he started the run now. He got that goal, and we're all quite happy for him in the previous game, and now he's got 2. And arguably his best 30 minutes in his United career.
100%.
I would say.
100.
And they were excellent. 2 really good goals, important, and his confidence is shining. And I agree with Chivy. Like, I start him in the final. Him and Ahmad start in the final. I think the 3 names I would have on my team sheet is Yoro, him, and Ahmad. They would be the 3 that I'd be like, no, they start. They have to start, because I thought they were the best players that we had on the pitch. And it's just, we knew he had the talent. Like, we knew he was talented. We knew he was good because he was Chelsea Player of the Year. He scored in the Champions League final. He was an important part of the England setup under Southgate. And then this injury has just killed any momentum and any sort of sense of his career. And we've just kind of forgotten about him and just been like, he's injured. He's not really going to play. He's getting consistent games now and getting game time. And he seems to be being managed better. Like, in previous managements, he probably would have been rushed back, started, got re-injured, and then ended up out again, like we did with Shaw quite a lot. But under Amorim, it seems to be his minutes are managed, and the same with other players. Yet Lenny Yoro's minutes are managed, Luke Shaw's minutes are managed, and we're getting the best out of the players in that way. But yeah, Mason Mount, I'm really happy for him, man. I'm happy that it's come together, and I just hope it continues for the rest of the season. I hope he continues on that vein, and in the final is a really important player for us.
I did
Also,
think
the hair, the haircut he had at Chelsea was just daft. Like I like the. He's really going into now he's getting the locks now. He's channeling the number 7, 12 thing. It might be the hair. You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe Lindelof needs a skinhead then or something. I'm not sure. But I felt the subs though themselves. I wanted them to come on earlier. I wanted them to come on at half time, and you can't tell me they ain't got 45 minutes in them. They definitely have. So the fact that they came out and it was the same team, I was like, how are you rewarding individual performances like that with them to start again? Because if I'm hammering going in that dressing room, I'm looking at the individual player and I'm going, you're off. You can't have a 45 minutes like that in a semi-final. Expect to come out in the second half. No chance.
I think he probably bollocks them at half time, and then he's like, "You've got 10 minutes to sort your shit out, otherwise you're getting yanked." Yeah. And he saw 10 minutes. He was like, nah, not having it. And
possibly, but then, but the 10 minutes before they came on was like, if he didn't make any change within 5 minutes.
No, I get it, but that's not what they do, don't they? Every manager normally goes, "You've got 10 minutes," and then they make changes. Like
testing it.
I mean, he could just see because I would have imagined that the pressures of halftime, you can come in, come back out, settled, and it was like Bilbao just turned it on ×2, and it was even worse. And I think, I commend the manager for making the changes at that time. I just hope that we don't see a repeat of this in the final, and I hope that he just make a change, just because if this is what we're going up against Spurs with, bro, dude,
you can't play like that. Imagine playing like that at 70 minutes in the final. You can't start like that.
Us. Yeah.
They will.
Just for the rest of the games in the Premier League, don't play any of the important players. Like, don't play them. Bring them on for 30-minute cameos and stuff like that. But just play the kids. Don't risk any players in the rest of these games until May. Is it 21st, I think, the final?
21st,
on a Wednesday.
Just don't risk anything. There's no point.
Speaking of which, when the video you did earlier about elites, I was someone saying it was the elite.
Elitism.
I would actually love for us to come 17th and win the.
That shit housery. Yes, I want that. Let's tank the Premier League. Let's just lose every game in the Premier League. Let's do that.
40. I see the first team with 40 points to win the Europa League.
End up in the Champions League.
Madness. Obviously, Mason Mount was the standout, and Ahmad played really well as well. But there was a couple more goals on top of that as well, which we've not even discussed yet. Casemiro's song being sung literally just before he scored was like, I mean, that is poetry, innit? Did you hear that? They were like, Casemiro, and then in 2 seconds, fuck off, straight in the goal. I was like, yes.
There's a video of his wife in the crowd singing along with the crowd when they're doing it.
I love that.
And then the goal happens behind her while she's singing it. It's just like, that's so good.
She deserves it. Remember when he got booed, she was the one fighting people on Twitter. She was taking pictures of his trophies and posting it. And so they've been through it. Man. They've been through it. And I do. I love the handshake, the dap. He gave Amorim when he came off.
I love that.
That's like squeezed life out of him when he hugged
him.
Because
with
that,
the dap and then hugged him.
I think that's an important point, actually, because with that, I think under Ten Hag, I think there was definitely a thing there where Casemiro felt like he thrown him under a bus at times, like with whether it was the system, whether it was playing in the back line at Palace and bits like as a centre back in times, and obviously he had that situation with the FA Cup, and it dropped him for that, and then he was pissed off with that. But Amorim's actually gone right. He's not in the team at the minute. He started performing, and then he's brought him back in, and he's like,
rewarded him,
and you've seen like what he's repaid. Listen, in the Premier League, I think it's a different conversation. I would still look to move forwards, and I'm still not convinced by our midfield at all. I think we need ball playing midfielders in there. But in Europe, like in games like that, when he's played against athletic clubs so many times, when you need that experience to calm people around you, he's really important. And scoring that goal adds to that.
Set pieces being put into the box. If Casemiro's in there, you've got a 9 out of 10 chance he's getting his head on it.
He's getting
Like every
exactly.
single time, Carabao Cup
Exactly.
game with the Luke Shaw free kick, he's done it so many times for us. Like get his head
Exactly.
on stuff. He's so important in the box when you've got a set piece or a corner, man. Like he's super important.
I think players like that, like you don't always need them in the starting lineup, but then in the dressing rooms, in the pressure moments, this is they kind of come clutch at times like this. So you don't always need to have them starting stuff like that. But yeah, it's in the Premier League, it's tough.
Different
it's
conversation in it. The
completely
time
different.
you get on the ball, how aggressively you get pressed, it's different ball game in it completely.
Yeah.
Right, we have a mishmash. Oh, sorry, I already read that out. Mount is like a new signing in a way, quality 30 mins. I genuinely think Højlund and Garnacho don't like each other because they never link up. You know what?
Yeah.
It's such a good point as
I
well,
agree.
because we just spoke about it then, kind of, with Ahmad, Bruno. Even Bruno came to life. Bruno been pretty flat for the majority of the game, in my opinion. He wasn't really doing much. But then when you bring on players who can actually play football, he comes to life. And it's like he woke up and it was like, oh my God, I've got options now. I've got people rotating and around me. And it just, the phases in the attack was so much cleaner. And that's what happens when you get footballers who maybe one actually appreciate each other and their ability, but also know that they're clever players and they'll find the space. And that just changed straight away. So it's a great point, that. Mount's been bright the last few weeks. He's been getting shots away and not scoring. Now scoring 2 games on the bounce. And the goal against Brentford is the type of goal Højlund should score. Well, that was the cherry on top of the cake, if you want to call it that, lads. Sam, Rasmus getting a goal. I mean, it was a tap-in. It was an absolute tap-in.
That was an own goal, man.
But it was, at least he
But
scored.
the goalkeeper, honestly, literally was...
He's got a goal, which, is good. But some of his play today... If I had any hair left on my head, I would have torn it out because some of the stuff he was doing. I think the worst moment was Ahmad gets on the ball, he plays it into him to receive it back again. He takes 2 touches and loses it, and you're just like, I can't believe what I'm watching. I cannot believe what I'm watching with that sort of play. Like I don't understand it. Like, is his confidence that low that he's not capable of playing football anymore? Like I really don't know. Like, it's really hard to defend him at this point. It's really hard.
I don't know if it's his confidence or it's just the situations that he finds himself in. So that particular move you're talking about was he got the ball, turned around, saw 2 defenders in front of him, and I just knew. I was like, this guy's
he just panicked. You see that he just panicked.
What do I do? And then he literally just fell. I was like, he has no. For players in that sort of position, you just need players who have just that natural ability to just know what to do. And to make it worse, Euro is making runs towards the end, and he's going past defenders. Like he's making. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Højlund reminds me of a player. It's like driving a Ford truck through Delhi. I can only how busy it is on the streets in Delhi when you're driving. It's like that. It's like a Ford truck trying to go through all that. He seems to always collide with defenders. He never seems to have a smooth touch or a little link up in behind. He's struggling. It looks like he's drowning a little bit, to be honest.
It's like when he receives the ball, it just seems like his head starts going through 3,000 scenarios of what he should do and what he needs to do, and he never decides in one. And by the time he decides on one, he's lost the ball and he's been robbed off him. It just can't seem to calm his mind. Like when he gets it just seems chaotic.
He's a Serie A defender. Attacker. That's it.
Yeah.
He's meant for the Serie A. That's it, and he should be just at the end of balls, literally. Pause. But he should literally be at the end of that's. You shouldn't be getting the ball anywhere deep. Like pause again.
Pause. A lot of innuendos here coming out. Yeah, balls deep. Maybe he should be getting balls deep into the fucking into the box, should I say?
Now look at the goal he scored against was it Bodo Glimt? When Mazraoui flicked it over, he just takes one touch, scores it.
Yeah.
He's one of them type. He should not be having time on the ball whatsoever. Time to think, that. He's just not suited for this style of play, man.
How much did we miss Joshua Zirkzee today? Like, how much we really killed just to have somebody to stick the ball to.
Just to hold it.
And you know what, Sam? he'd be another one as well with Mount and Ahmad and Bruno who can play ball, who can just ping it around and keep hold of it and take the heat off and the sting off. Just a stat coming in, Ahmad has been directly involved in 18 goals across all competitions this season. Only Bruno and Garnacho have been involved in more for Man United, and obviously he's had a massive, thing.
He's been out for like a month.
Yeah, months and months. But he is the guy to me. Ahmad's another one. Just the difference. Fucking hell, it's so night and day. When he comes, they're scared straight away. As soon as he picks up the ball on the half turn or out wide, they can't get near him. His feet are so quick. Like
Chivy spoke about it. He came on, the whole energy of the crowd turned.
Just changed.
Yeah.
The whole crowd just went, "Oh shit, here we go." Yeah. This is they were getting on here, and the belief started coming back. The crowd started getting louder. The chants started happening, and the crowd got behind him. And then as soon as Mason Mount's goal in, all the crowd were just like, "Oh, we're winning this. We're turning this round."
Did you notice that when he beat that defender, like he beat, it was just like he just knew. And every time he had the ball, every single time he beat him, he literally would beat him every single time after that. Like he just had him on toast the whole time. And it's like in football, like sometimes when you just come up against a player that you just know, I've got you, and there's nothing that you can do literally. And that's what it just looked like with Ahmad and that whoever it was. It wasn't DeMarcus, was it? No, it wasn't. DeMarcus was right back.
Yuri.
Yuri.
I can't remember his second. I can't pronounce his second name, but that's who it was. Look, we've made it somehow. We're still unbeaten in Europe. I still think we should get a golden trophy, to be honest with you, if we win it.
Yeah.
Well, we scored 7-1.
7 goals against Athletic Club.
That's
It's
insane.
crazy. If you've shown someone the first half an hour of the first leg and the 70 minutes at Old Trafford, and you say to someone that they ended up winning it on aggregate 7-1,
we battered them on goals. Like,
you think,
So
how
scored-
on earth has that ended like that? Mad.
Mate, so we scored seven goals in the quarters, 7 goals in the semis.
mad. It's absolutely mad.
It's
And
just
in
mad.
the quarters, there's 4 of those goals, or 5. Was it 5 in the second leg? 5 came within
5-4,
about 10 minutes in the second half.
Yeah. This club, though, I think honestly that is this club. And
Mate, I think,
that's
no,
the
they put it. They write in their contracts. Literally, you have to fuck with the fans' minds. Literally, I think they do it on purpose. They have to.
it's weird, isn't it?
Because
It is weird.
what is it?
Everybody does a blood pressure check before they come in. Nah, that's too low. We need to jack that up. Like, let's get that up before you just get up the match.
It's
never
really
easy.
bizarre. I think that's the main thing that I've taken away from this season is that it doesn't matter wherever we are, we can always win trophies. And some people will say, and I agree, I think long term and longevity, I want to be competing near the top and I want to be consistent in the league. But whilst you're playing shit, if you can win trophies, I suppose it does make it that little bit extra nice. You know what I mean? Because we have been dreadful in the Premier League, absolutely awful in the Premier League. So look,
But it's,
we'll finish.
it's different now, Nick. It's very different now from the trophies we're winning now. The implication is a lot different from what it was before. The Carabao Cup before was where you played your youth, you played the kids, you played. Now every trophy means a lot more. Now there's a lot of money attached to trophies. There's more competitiveness. So you have to take
places
everything
as well. Like, if you win a trophy, you get into Europe. So
It's more about
Yeah,
money, though.
even
It's
when
become more about that than it actually is winning the trophy, I think. I think if you look
Sadly.
at the jubilation of Newcastle fans not winning, I mean, the Carabao, and they had fucking parades and everything. Like, Newcastle are a good footballing team, and a good club, and a massive club. They haven't won one for 50 years, so the point I'm saying is that you can never really take it for granted winning trophies.
Yeah.
If we win a Europa League this season, that's 3 trophies in 3 seasons that we've done, and we've been shit. We've been
And you know what?
shit.
we'll
Because
win the Europa League, and there probably won't even be a parade, to be honest, because the season's been that bad. We won't do a parade. But if Arsenal would have won the Europa League, there'll be a parade. There'll be fucking like everything going on. But we won't even bother with one.
Can I just end this, Rob? Because I know,
Go
Nick, you want to wrap it up, but I'll just quickly say this about like winning stuff. And I had a bet with one of the guys in the gym. He supports Arsenal, and I said United will win a trophy. Well, Amorim will win a trophy before Arteta. this is the bet we had like months ago, and he was and we're shit at this point. But my argument was, we're going to win a trophy before you, not because we're better than you, because right now you're better than us.
Yeah.
but it's just because it's what we do. This is
We win
it's
trophies.
just who we are.
Just win trophies, yeah.
We just fucking
DNA.
win trophies, and and you don't. This is my only argument. So
Yeah.
you play better, you have better players. It's just what we do, and we're just gonna mess around and win another one now.
It's not like something tangible, is it? That you can see, that you can say, this is why we do it.
No.
I couldn't tell you. If someone
Like,
says, why do United
explain-
win trophies? It's like, I don't know.
Explain
Van Gaal,
that FA Cup.
Jose,
Yeah.
Ten Hag.
Try and
just win.
explain that FA Cup run that we had. We beat Liverpool in a last minute winner with Ahmad. We then barely almost get absolutely trashed by Coventry in the semi-final, if not for a toenail.
Yeah.
And then we go against City, the best team in Europe at the time, convincingly beaten. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
How do you explain that to anybody? Like, you just can't. Like, there's no way. There's no logical reason or pattern where you can look at it and go, "Oh, that's why." There isn't. Like, it just.
And
I
then-
don't. You don't. You can't get it.
Even this campaign now, like I go back to like the group stages, that mad game against Porto, the mad game against Fenerbahce in Turkey, where they battered. Rangers had us on ropes at times. Bodo Glimt give us a really good game. Like, you go through all the games.
Drew against FC20, who are the lowest ranked team in Europe, by the way.
Yeah, this club, man, honestly, it is.
But you know one thing, this is what we said, man. We're just never going to stop.
No.
That tifo that we had, I was just like,
true.
that's all.
And that,
Never going to stop.
That's a perfect way to kind of circle things off. Just one last question before we go, lads. Tottenham in the final. What do you think? Nerves?
Of course, there's nerves, but then this is the annoying thing about you don't know who's going to turn up.
No.
Is it this United that's going to turn up, or the last 20 minutes United? Like who? We've seen two separate United performances in one game. So depending on who turns up, but yeah, I mean it's Tottenham. It's one of them ones where I don't see us losing, to be honest. Even though I'm not confident, but it's just something would happen where we just win.
You look at like the City game, and I think when we did the preview, none of us were saying we're winning this. Like, I don't think, and maybe Brian Casey in the chat actually shouted, like Brian definitely did. But none of us were like, yeah, we ain't winning this, and we did it. So it's just something, like Shivy said, it's just something in our DNA that we do. And even though we've been beaten 3 times by Spurs this season, it's a final, and it's I just
typical.
See us doing something. I see us doing something. Might not even play well. We might not even look good, but I just see us winning it somehow.
I think one thing we do have is pedigree in finals, and the fact that we've played back-to-back finals in different competitions, Carabao, FA Cup, and now Europa League. Like, we've got that experience, and the players in the team have got that experience as well. Even our young players like Garnacho scoring in an FA Cup final. This is the first time in that territory for Spurs. There will be nerves. The fans will be anxious. That's the one thing we do have, but the quality of play when they are ticking Tottenham. They can play football, really, really good football. So, I don't know, man. That's such a huge game for both clubs. For both teams to be 16th and 17th, it is mad, innit, having a game like that between those two. And it can really change the fortunes of the club going forward. I think, and we'll probably end up getting sacked anyway, to be honest with you. But for Tottenham to win their first European trophy, it's just massive, innit? And United as well, equally. What we can do in the summer if we do win it, and the players we can attract. And Amrin's in his first season winning that. I mean, I don't know. That's going to be crazy. Yeah, I think we can leave it at that, lads, because we can talk about that final for years, but we've got plenty of time. Well, specifically 13 days until the final in Bilbao. And we've also played at that stadium before as well, which I don't know if that helps, but yeah, we played there this season. So yeah, we look forward to that. We'll have plenty of news stories, transfer stories, post-match quotes, everything on our socials. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Check us out. I hope you all enjoyed the game towards the end. Big up Mason Mount, big up Ahmad. And big up United for getting to the final. They made it fucking difficult, though. Appreciate Chewy's time and Sam's time as well. They're going to get to bed now and have a Werther's and a cup of tea, and we'll regroup and we'll speak tomorrow.
Gonna draw me curtains and get myself settled.
Go get your cardigans on, and we'll regroup.